The Oriskany began life on May 1, 1944. The ship was named for the Battle of Oriskany, fought during the American Revolution. On May 17, 2006, the Oriskany became the world's largest artificial reef off the coast of Florida. That is where G came in. Well, G worked on the Oriskany project for over 3 years before it reached its final resting place. It was a mammoth undertaking. Its nickname is the Great Carrier Reef. My work on the Oriskany project ended up in several specials that you may have seen. About 10 years ago, I took all of my B-roll footage and put together a dive video. Enjoy!
So you want to dive the Oriskany, home to over 10,000 sailors and 2,500 airmen. She served the Navy proudly for 25 years. The Big O received 7 battle stars. Heck, she was so tough it took over 3 years just to sink her. But on May 17, 2006, she reached her final port of call. With a thunderous roar, the largest man-made reef in the world was created. A new crew moved in immediately. Juvenile blue angelfish. A barracuda now mans the top deck. The Mighty O has breathtaking vistas. The bridge is now commanded by arrow crabs. Within weeks of her sinking, every nook and cranny was teeming with life. Before you know it, it's over. You have to leave this serene place. But you'll take the memories with you that will last a lifetime.
Deep diving is a precarious undertaking. Trained, qualified personnel should only attempt it. Planning is job one when trying one of these dangerous adventures. When we shot this video, the Oriskany was sitting at a depth of 207 feet. Because of hurricanes and tropical storms, the Oriskany bottom depth today is 214 feet. The pressure at that depth is 92.2 pounds per square inch. At 60 meters of depth, our lung capacity is 1/16 its normal size. There are 2,736 inches of skin on the average human. At 207 feet, the total pressure on a body is 252,259 pounds. That's 126 tons. That's amazing. Listen to the housing pop as we go down. It's popping about every 4 feet. I sold the footage at the very bottom so we can't see that, but we popped all the way to the sand. It is incredible to think that at that depth, our bodies are shorter because of the pressure. This housing will shrink about a 1/4 inch at that depth, and it is made out of Kevlar. When we do these dives, we do combinations of 3 gases, oxygen, nitrogen, and helium. This combination gives us the best chance for success. Deep diving is a gratifying adventure as long as it is done correctly. So far, G's done it correctly. Under Sea G. Warning, warning, warning. Lionfish will be killed in this video. If you do not wish to see this, stop the video. The lionfish invasion of the Atlantic Ocean has been an ongoing epic struggle. G saw the first lionfish in the Atlantic in the early 2000s. Even then, it was eating right in front of my eyes. Animals in the Atlantic had never seen a lionfish or the formidable weapons it possesses. Unfortunately, natural predator species in the Pacific, like eels, groupers, sharks, and triggerfish, did not translate to natural predators in the Atlantic. In the late 2000s, dive masters in the Atlantic pond started to spear lionfish, take the lionfish body to a natural predator species, and try to get it to eat it. At first, it was a hard sell. As time went on, the animals started to eat them. The only problem was the lionfish had to be speared for these predators to kick into predator mode. This practice has created a new behavior out of the predator species. When you jump into the ocean in an area with a lot of diver intervention, predators are waiting for you to come in and spear their food for them. The animals exhibit behavior like hunting dogs. The animals will trail along with you as you dive. Then when the predator sees a lionfish, it will point it out. I hope this behavior turns into predators hunting the lionfish on their own. This footage gives me hope that this is changing. Watch the lionfish run as the sharks are investigating the reef. These nurse sharks are searching precisely like they do at night. The lionfish is running for its life, bringing hope to G that some natural behavior is starting to kick in. Though beautiful, the lionfish is a reef-destroying animal. If we can get the Atlantic predators to wake up, the lionfish will become a regular citizen of the Atlantic Ocean, controlled by the predators in the Atlantic. When that day comes, humans will have played a vital role in this new behavior. Under Sea G. The Grand Canyon River habitat had 8 species of native fish. Today there are only 5 native species still in the river. Speckled dance is the only native species that remains common in the ecosystem. Speckled dance prefer to live in the tributaries and not the main river. 2 native fish species are on the endangered species list, the humpback chub and the razorback sucker. 6 of the 8 original species are endemic to the Colorado River. Endemic species means that an animal only lives in one place on Earth. These species' endemic rate is so high because the Colorado River is one of only 2 water ecosystems in the southwestern United States. As you can see, the river has so much sediment in there, there's no way to film the fish. However, you can feel them when you are in the water. They nibble on your feet like a spa. The fish, yes, okay. Look at what the sediment in the river did to this cola drink can.
And that was a brand new Pepsi, and that's just where the... Right, that's just where Colorado River has scoured the paint off.
The Glen Canyon Dam became operational in 1966. As a result, the Grand Canyon River environment changed from a seasonal ebb and flow temperature to a constant temperature environment. The river temp is now 46 degrees year-round, and it is. Why so cold in the middle of the desert? Well, to create hydroelectric power, you need a lot of pressure to turn the turbines. The highest water pressure at a dam comes from the water at the very bottom. This water is supercooled because of the environment where it comes from. Not wanting to get on a soapbox here, but there is no question hydroelectric dams affect the river's ecosystem. There were 8 species of fish before the dam, and now there are 5. The trade-off here is that the Glen Canyon Dam supplies 7 states with power. So if you like air conditioning, then you need dams. Under Sea G. There have been a few things in my life that I thought as it was happening, is this real? Can this be happening? This spotted eagle ray encounter is one of these events. Spotted eagle rays are rare and are being considered for the endangered species list. These rays grow as large as 16 feet long with a maximum wingspan of 10 feet. Spotted eagle rays have venomous spines at the base of their tail. This barb is used in defense. Unlike stingrays, the spotted eagle ray barb is located where the tail connects to the body. It is thought that this location is for protection from sharks attacking from the rear. Rays prefer prey, including clams, oysters, sea urchins, and shrimp. The encounter we are watching went on for about 15 minutes. In all of G's time of diving, I have never run out of air on purpose. There were 8 of us in the dive group, and on this dive, we all ran out of air. Don't sweat it, we were in 15 feet of water, so there was no danger to our bodies. There must have been a lot of food at this spot. The spotted eagle ray would eat a while, circle us, and return to the exact same location. I don't know what was in there, but this ray liked his underwater restaurant. Watch as the ray and I glide off into the sea together. The sand floats down his back as we are swimming. Just magical. White spotted eagle rays are timid by nature, but this guy is not timid at all. This is unquestionably one of G's top 10 dives. Under Sea G. Just when you think you've seen it all, a turtle swims up beside you and starts eating rocks. Not algae, not coral, rocks. And it looks like he likes it. I will never forget reporting to my producers that I had filmed a turtle eating rocks. That can't be, they said. So soon we had a lot of intelligent people working on why the turtles exhibited this behavior. 8 years later, are you ready for the answer? Biologists have 2 theories. Theory 1 is that turtles are trying to add minerals to their diets. We see this behavior in other animals, so it seems to be a plausible explanation. Humans take vitamins, so maybe turtles do too. Theory 2 is that they are eating rocks to help them with digestion. Cows do this, so we know it is true of other species. Turtle biology is very unusual. The digestive system of a turtle has 2 stomachs. Turtles and tortoises can actually slow their stomachs down to ferment their food. This allows turtles and tortoises to extract all of the energy available from a food item. Turtles can even extract water from their food. This digestive system is slow but super efficient. This explains why turtles and tortoises can live in areas other animals could not survive. Turtles and tortoises can even live 80 to 100 years plus. So eating rocks may be a health craze humans have not picked up on yet. Most turtles and tortoises are highly endangered. If you are lucky enough to share a moment with one of these fantastic creatures, please make sure and help them on their journey. Under Sea G. Arrow crabs are named because of their head and body shape, which looks like an arrow. Arrow crabs can be found on coral reefs 10 to 30 feet deep. G has seen them on shipwrecks as deep as 100 feet. The arrow crab is mainly a scavenger. They will feed on bristleworms, feather dusters, and banded coral shrimp if the opportunity presents. Arrow crabs can crawl quickly using their long legs like a granddaddy long legs. This gives the crab an advantage to overtake small prey. As the arrow crab grows, it will shed its exoskeleton. The new skin underneath hardens with calcium carbonate obtained from the seawater and by eating the old shell. During the day, arrow crabs tend to hide under ledges, sea fans, and on sponges. But at night, the arrow crab comes alive. Arrow crabs do most of their scavenging at night. These crabs are not threatened by divers, but they are highly territorial. A female arrow crab carries her eggs under her abdomen until they are ready to hatch. The young crabs that emerge are called zoa. The zoa is transparent and has a rounded body. It swims near the top of the surface as it grows, and as it goes on, it continues and then molts eventually, and the larva crab emerges from the molt into a new stage called a megalops. The arrow crab will grow its legs and its abdomen and settle to the coral reef during this stage. These scavenging crabs clean up the reef environment for all of its inhabitants. Clumsy and docile, the arrow crab is an outstanding member of the reef environment. Remember, never swim, snorkel, or dive alone. Never bother the wildlife, and only leave footprints in the sand when you leave. I hope you learned something today and every day. Click that like button and subscribe to the channel so you know when we post our next episode. And we'll see you here next time on Under Sea G.